All right, first I'd like to thank you for doing
Mama
this
Jim is right.
the Hype Magazine tonight.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Super honored. And to get started, can you both tell us who you are and where you from?
You want to go first?
Zach Guess, and I'm from Woke, Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'm Maya Guess. I'm from Arcadia, Oklahoma.
Looks like it froze again. Yeah, it looks like your signal may be going in and out.
I have all my bars.
Okay.
Here, let me just do my hotspot. Maybe that'll help.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes it takes a few seconds, so appreciate y'all patience. So, Zach, to get started with you, what made you want to get into rodeo and pursue this as your career in the first place?
Okay, is that any better?
Yeah, I can see you good. Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, great. So I'll edit it. We'll start from the beginning and all that. So to get started, I want to thank you for doing this interview with the Hype Magazine tonight.
Thank you. We're happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Super excited. To get started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you're from?
Want to go first?
Zach Guess, and I am originated out of Sasakwa/Woke, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Maya Guess. Originally, I'm from Arcadia, Oklahoma, and currently located in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Dope. Now, Zach, for you, what made you want to get into rodeo in the first place and pursue this as your career?
I just about grew up on a farm,
Okay.
It's inherited, and I just always loved horses. And
okay.
I was supposed to go to college to play football, but I knew I wasn't gonna go, so I just decided to rodeo. And I'm a first generation cowboy.
Oh, congrats.
So yeah. Being was it trendsetter? Yeah, trendsetter. In my family.
Trendsetter. Yeah.
And now everybody.
Now, Maya, for you, what made you get interested in the rodeo, and how did you get started following it and being a part of it yourself?
Well, for me, I grew up in a family full of rodeos.
Okay.
Family full of rodeos.
Mhm.
A family full of people that rodeoed. Sorry, excuse me. My uncle, he was a professional rodeo. He bulldog, he hazed, he did all of
Okay.
that. And my aunt, she used to barrel race, and I actually used to stay with them all the time growing up. And so
Okay.
I was always into horses, always loved to ride. And so yeah, that's pretty much what got me into the rodeo scene, was with her. And then once I once I got in high school and went to college, I kind of like pulled back away from the rodeo scene. And then I met him,
Yeah.
and he was rodeoing, and I was like, oh really? I'm like, they still do that? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going too. And that's just kind of how I got back into it.
So that's dope. So your family's actually in the rodeo, and you left it, but when you guys meet, you didn't know he was in the rodeo or anything at that when you guys first met?
No, I didn't.
Okay. And then for you, Zach, like you said, you're a trendsetter, your first time cowboy. Did having her family to lean on, help you as you're going through becoming this rodeo star that you are today?
Yeah, just about. Like it helps because I like looking up to older people, and like her uncle, like she said, he's a champion, and he's very well known in the rodeo association, so it's a plus.
Yeah. Now, for you, Maya, when you go home to your mom and dad and you say, "Hey, I found me a cowboy," how did they respond to that? Since you come from the radio, was that their dream come true, or were they, a little scared?
Well, my mama was like, "You found you a what?" And I was like, "Yeah, he does Pony Express." And she was like, "Oh no,
Yeah."
And I was like, "But he's really nice. You don't like him." And so that's kind of how her reaction was. She was like, "We'll see what team he run for." And at the time, he was running with Country Boys. And
Okay.
she was like, "Oh, red flag. Like, no, mm-mm." But then she got to know him, and she was like, "Oh, okay, he's a sweetheart. Like, he's not quite like the rest." So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, Zach, because her family understands what some of that terminology means for people who's not familiar, what is the Pony Express? She said you were a part of the Pony Express, so can you explain that a little bit for the people who's not familiar?
It's a relay race, and it's 8-man a team.
Yeah.
There's 2 teams, and only 2 people go around passing off the baton, and the last one puts it in the burrow, and it's very high and intense, and it's like bull riding used to be the main event, but Pony Express is the main event now.
So how did you get into the Pony Express? Because I saw a shout out to Donnell Tipton. I had a chance to talk to him, so I got very familiar with what you guys are doing over there. And that Pony Express is one of the scariest events I've ever seen in my life. So how did you make that transition into Pony Express?
I guess because it's something I always want to do. Like, I had went to a rodeo one day. I want to say Cowboys of Color, like my junior and my senior year, and then I had just decided, like, you know what, that's what I want to do. Really, I started out riding bucking horses, and then I went to, the Pony Express, because, like, I don't know, like I said, it's something everybody loves to watch, and, like, I'm real competitive, and everybody's competitive, so I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. So when you're doing the Pony Express, what's one of the biggest highlights you've had as a Pony Express person? Like you said, it's a lot of risk involved, a lot of excitement. But for you and your career, what's one of your major accomplishments with the Pony Express?
This past weekend, winning the biggest award, the hottest team of the year. We only think this is our 6th year.
Okay.
Being a team, because coming from Country Boys, which is like one of the longest running teams like in history, and like everybody know them, and like me and one of my partners, we decided to leave, and like everybody was like, "Why y'all leaving? Y'all need to go back. This ain't gonna work out." And like we went through trials and tribulations, but we finally got it, and we showed we can do it.
So you guys are the Young Fly Cowboys. How did you come up with that name, and what does that represent to the people at the rodeo when they see you guys come in? What's that name mean to them?
Really, it was our name on accident. Like, we really didn't know what we was gonna be called, and like when it was time to draw, I was just like, Young Fly Cowboys. But it does have a meaning to it. Like, we young, we fly, and we cowboys. So
Now, Maya, for you, everybody's in love with Cowboys right now. Beyonce, shout to her. She won the Grammy last night. I seen you made a post that, everybody wants to have a cowboy, but you went and got you one. What's it like now to see the popularity of cowboys coming back? And, like your husband is one of the most successful cowboys there are right now. So how does that feel for you?
For me, I'm going to say this. I didn't go get me a cowboy. He came and got me.
Yeah.
But... am I lying?
Nah, she ain't lying.
Yeah. Because like I said, I didn't even know Zach at all. And he already had like a pretty big name in the rodeo scene. So everybody knows Zach. And I'm like, who was Zach? Like, I didn't even know who he was, honestly. But I was just like, at first we were just chopping it up, just, via social media, the new day and age, whatever. And he invited me to a rodeo one day, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come. And so like when I say everybody knows Zach, it's ridiculous. Like, everybody knows him. I'm like, oh dang, so I'm the only person I've been living under a rock. Like, what's going on? But so
Now, for people who's not familiar, what's a day like going to the rodeo for you? Because, like you said, your husband's a star. He's on the rodeo circuit, so I know you're involved heavily too. So, what are some of the things you're doing day to day at the rodeo to help with it?
So rodeo days are a lot.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot. It's almost like a full day process. Even though showtime might not be till like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m., like you literally start at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Like you're starting early in the day. So what that day looks like for me, we have 3 kids. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the kids together, make arrangements. Okay, are we going to take the kids or are we going to keep the kids away? And for me, 3 is just a lot. I
Yeah.
have 2 with disabilities. So I normally just keep them home either with my mom or his mom or my brother, something like that. And so that's like my main objective, like really before rodeo day, like prior
Yeah.
to, we have to make arrangements with the kids first. And so just waking up, getting them together, they have their stuff, take them where they need to go, or they actually come with us, like to feed, water the horses.
Okay, so they get to get involved with
Whatever else.
all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't really drop them off until it's time for us to get ready to go. But yeah, it's literally an all day thing,
Yeah.
all day. But they love
Now,
it, and we
now
love
for
it.
you, Zach, do your kids realize you are this star that you are? Like, are you just daddy when they see you at the rodeo, or they know you're, this big thing out there?
Really, daddy, because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
really just want to be up under me and then be on my horse. They love my horse. So
Okay.
that it'd be hard to take them. I think they've been to what, 1, maybe 2.
Maybe 2 at the most.
But yeah, I
Okay.
can't take them because like they want to be too involved right now.
Yeah.
They too young. I just want to wait till they get a little bit older.
Yeah. So they have an understanding of, oh, we have to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you guys do a lot of rodeos. For people who's not familiar, what's the calendar year look like for you? Like, how many rodeos are you doing in a year? What's some of the locations you've traveled to and stuff like that?
Man, it's really different every year, but it seems like it's just more and more every year. Like now it's starting next weekend. Or this
Okay.
weekend, I'm sorry. And so that's February 8th. That's early. So
Yeah.
now it's about to be from February all the way to about October.
Wow.
Like mid-October, somewhere in there, every weekend.
And is that mainly in Oklahoma area, or are you traveling state to state with it as well?
Just about, and then this
Okay.
you got some outside like Arkansas, Mesquite, Texas. That's just about it. I want to go further, but we still trying to work on it. Trying to get it out there to where put it on a bigger platform.
Do you feel like it's picked up popularity ever since Shabuzi's come out, Beyonce's come out? Like, do you think the impact of the music world has helped the rodeo scene?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, a whole
Tremendously.
lot. Like, everybody's starting to line dance and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they've been doing it, but now it's like really, really popular now. Like we just threw a party last weekend, and like that's what they came to do. That's what they wanted to do. So that's the thing. That's the thing trending right now.
Yeah. So Maya, I know you said your family's in the rodeo. You just came from the National Black Cowboy Rodeo Awards in Gala recently. You guys are the star couple, best dressed, and all that. How's your family reacting to the success of the rodeo now? Like you said, they've been there all these years. So how are they responding to the new success that's going on?
They actually responded pretty well. Actually, my uncle actually just what was his award? Was it the IPR?
Yeah, PRCA champion.
Yeah, I don't know, but he just got a I don't know the exact title that he was in or category he was in, but he just got an award himself this year. So they actually got to experience the gala this year. So that was fun to have them there.
How was your experience there? I seen a shout out to Sincere. I seen a lot of dope pictures and videos that came out. But what was that experience like at the gala this past weekend?
It was good. The gala is literally always such a vibe. Like you have all these people. Everybody looks so good. Everybody's dressed up or have on their cowboy attire. Like I love it. You have the music. The music just sets the tone. Then you have your good host and Yeah, I mean, you just see all of the different styles that people come with. I love it.
Yeah. Now, Zach, you're 2024 champs right now, so you're very humble, I can tell, but you're a champion at what you're doing. What did you and your team do to win that, become champs, and what's it feel like now to be young, but like you said, you're a trendsetter. You're bringing a lot of new interest to the sport, and people are really going to see what you guys are doing.
Hard work. It's a lot of work. Like
Yeah.
trying to keep 7 other people in line, you know, on the same page.
Yeah.
Everybody with the same mindset, making sure everybody is good. Not only just rodeo and just through life. Like,
yeah,
everybody got a positive attitude. You know, we help out with each other's relationships, talk things out. We try to talk on the daily.
Yeah.
And then, you know, keeping your horse worked out, fed good, because that's things other people kind of pay attention to. So it's like, you know, people, like the outside people, they really didn't like Pony Express a while back.
Okay.
Like they always say, like we had skinny horses, and it's really not, you know, cowboy, I guess. But now they finally hopping on, like, dang, okay, you know, y'all horses is looking good. And it's, like I said, very intense sport. And, like, you really got to know what you're doing. It's really about time and really.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because a lot of times when there's something new that comes around, a lot of times the older generation are kind of pushed back a little bit on it. But
Yeah.
once they finally accept it, it becomes what propels the sport. And that's what this Pony Express is doing. When you were at the Boley Rodeo 2024 champs as well. So like I said, you're just constantly winning these championships. What's your goals for this year? Like with Young Fly Cowboys, you've got, you know, you've won the gala, you're winning championships. What's some of your goals you have for 2025?
I mean, we really ain't got nothing else to prove, but
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, consistency, but I want to do it better, bigger and better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I seen you had
yeah.
some of the players from the Oklahoma City Thunder came out, you know, and got to see what you were doing. What was that experience like, and how does it feel to know that the community around you guys are really supporting what you guys are building?
My boy Shed, like that's big time right there.
Yeah.
Like for real, like that's not just no regular Thunder player. Like that's an all-star, really. But it meant a lot. It meant a lot. Like, you know, I'm glad I got to experience it. And, you know, like I said, I'm just trying to pave the way for everybody else. You know.
Is it hard for you to be the first because you're young, you've got a lot of ideas, you're thinking about doing things maybe a little bit differently than they are social media and all that? Like, how are people reacting to the energy that you're bringing to the sport?
I mean, they love it. Like, everybody knows Zach. Like,
yeah,
I'm different from everybody. Like, I mean, I didn't grow up in Spencer, so I'm just kind of bringing, you know, my style to them. And they starting to, you know, crack out of their shell. But,
yeah,
you know, I love it. Like I said, I love being a trendsetter. I was raised to be a leader, not a follower. So
dope. Yeah. I seen in September 5th, 2014, you experienced something very traumatic. Can you let us know a little bit more about it, and how do you continue to keep going after that experience?
that was my second year riding, and I went to go test out a horse. I wanted a whole nother horse. Yeah. And all I remember is just, you know, trying out the horse and riding down the street. And all I can remember is waking up in the hospital like a couple of days later. Yeah. And come to find out I had a fractured skull and a real bad concussion. They said I couldn't get no more. And I was like, dang, I had to relearn how to walk again and all type of stuff. I was in therapy for like 2 or 3 months. And then it was only for so long.
Yeah.
I want to say like it happened in about February is whenever I finally was able to get out on my own. Because I told my dad I got tired of that therapy stuff. Like I had to like basically like do school work and stuff. Yeah. Like, and I told them like, man, I'm not the smartest anyway.
Yeah.
Not like that though, not like that. But I just got tired of it, so I told my dad I didn't want to go no more. And he told me I had to go get a job,
Yeah.
and that's whenever I got back to myself. But it was an experience. But
Wow.
whenever I got
So
back to it, I had to wear a helmet, and I wore a helmet for like 2 or 3 years, and then
wow.
got back to it. Got back to myself.
So you weren't. So I seen the video, the pictures of it. So it wasn't doing anything with the rodeo. You were just trying out a brand new horse that probably wasn't trained right, and you had that bad experience. Asia, were you there when this happened, or did you hear stories about it? Like,
Yes, I was not there.
okay,
This
yeah,
was before our time, but yes, I
okay,
have heard plenty about it. It was that was a
yeah,
traumatic experience. Like, I don't wish that on anybody, and that's really scary.
yeah,
I don't even know how I would even react or feel just seeing him lie in the hospital for
yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. That was a hard one to hear about, and he's
Is that
really
something?
blessed to be here.
Is that
Blessed.
something you guys have to deal with as a family because what you do is very risky and all that? Does that go through your mind sometimes and you have to say, hey, make sure you're more careful? Or is it because, he's a star that, you kind of just let him do what he's got to do to, be successful?
I guess since the accident didn't happen during Pony Express,
Yeah.
I don't feel as worried. But
Mm.
he's a really good writer, so
Yeah.
it's not him that I'd be worried about. I'm like, you watch people around you. And because people, I mean, they get new Pony Express teams all the time, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let's go do this rodeo," and don't even know the half of the sport. Like, you can't just come out here on all these green horses, your horse going all over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes dangerous, when people that don't know what they're doing try to do the sport
Yeah.
in the actual show. Like, that's when it becomes dangerous.
I was gonna say, Zach, is that one of the more risky things about the Pony Express is the horses doing what they need to do during what the trained riders doing? Like, you guys are professionals, you know how to do what you're doing, but getting the horse to be in the right lineup, is that one of the dangerous parts of it?
Right, yeah. I mean, as long as you got a good horse, it's all good. But like she said, like it's just you just run into somebody else and just don't know what they're doing. So you kind of got to watch them and like.
Yeah.
I get a little timid, but not as bad. But like everybody know my situation. Anytime I fall off a horse or anything, that is one thing I do love about my community. Like if I fall off, when I tell you everybody is coming to see my
Yeah, they're
good
running.
thing, everybody like from everywhere, because they remember like we all really a family. So that's a good thing about it.
With all the new people coming to the sport, how do they get vetted to make sure they're talented enough to do those risky, Pony Express rides versus just doing a basic, rodeo? How do you guys test people, or what kind of stuff do they have to accomplish before they get into the rodeo?
It really just take time.
Okay.
It don't come overnight. I promise you that. But yeah, you gotta keep going. You can't stop. Like it's not gonna be perfect. So
yeah. How long did it take for you to become proficient enough at riding a horse to where you could venture on to doing tricks and stuff like that?
I mean, I was all it took me. I started riding whenever I graduated. It was 2013, and I got hurt in 2014. So like, really a year, and then my injury it gave me a little setback.
Yeah.
And I was back riding, but I wasn't like how I was before I got hurt. But now, I'm finally back to it to where like I just back and get on anything. So, like I said, it's just the repetition, really.
Now, see, you also have a business. You do Z&Z Firewood. For people who's not familiar with it, what is that, and what's it like creating all doing the business along with the rodeo and stuff you're doing?
It's basically like my side hustle. Like
Okay.
when I'm not working, for me and my family, and like I call it Z&Z for me and my son Zakai. So that way, you know, whenever I decide to quit with it, he's still carrying it on.
Yeah.
So
Legacy.
Yeah, legacy. Yeah.
And AJ, I seen you got a lot of dope stuff you do with hair. You do silk and press. You do natural glam for all the other ladies. How did you get started with that? And how great does it feel to be at the rodeo and, you know, glamming up the ladies and, you know, making them have that experience?
Well, I grew up watching my mom do hair. She's a cosmetologist of 32 years.
Okay.
So I've always dipped and dabbed with hair growing up. I've always, you know, either play with my dolls or try to do my own hair, do my friends' hair. And then like I also danced in school. So I always did my makeup. I did my friends' makeup. And so I was always like really good, I guess, because I started kind of early doing it. And by the time I'm gonna say it was 2019, right when COVID hit. And because I was working on base, I was working at Tinker in the child development lab. And I was like, I don't know what this is. My son is 6 months old. Or I guess it was 2020, it wasn't 2019. But I was like, oh my gosh, he's 6 months old. We don't know what this is. People are dying. I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I'm not about to, you know, put him in danger. So I just stopped. And I was like, you know, to make money, let me just start doing hair and makeup. It's something that I'm good at. Yeah. And I can just do it on the side. Like, and I can still be a mom, like, you know. Yeah. And that's really how I got started in 2020 was I just stopped working and started doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't
Well, that's
even
what
look
Zach
like
did
work.
too. He found what he loved to do and created a career. A lot of times you find a career in what you love to do. It just takes a while for God to point it out to say, you can do that. This is the gift I gave you. This is what I want you to do. You just got to believe in it and go do that. So do you have clients that come to the rodeo, or like, do you have a clientele or something that are showing up the day of saying, hey, I got appointments with you, or is it kind of sporadic how it comes together?
So I guess it really just depends on which rodeo it is, because not everybody like to get super glammed up for every rodeo. But if it's like Mesquite Rodeo, that's a hip hop rodeo in Mesquite, Texas. Cowboys of Color, just like the big rodeos, that's like indoor. People are like, oh yeah, girl, can you do my makeup or my hair? But some people even come like on regular rodeo days to get their hair done, because whether if it's a silk press or a ponytail, half up, half down, like their hair is done, they don't have to worry about it. And
Now, for you, Zach, with your success that you're having as a trendsetter, are you getting invited to the other rodeos that are outside of Oklahoma? You know, there's a lot of big hip hop rodeos going on around the country. Is that something you're looking more into?
Yeah, like I said, I want to kind of branch off a little bit further, like go to Alabama, Atlanta, Mississippi, somewhere further than just these states around here.
Well, you were invited to Black, what is it, USA?
Oh, Black Rodeo?
Yeah. What was that, Alabama, when you went down there?
Yeah, but
I mean, you were invited to come.
Yeah, I know.
Just saying you were invited. He's not saying YFC, he's saying you in general.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. All of them I'm just about invited to, but like it's hard going to a rodeo and not competing.
Well, that's when you get to the boss mentality, though. For you to get to where you're trying to go, you said you want to be the leader, the trendsetter. It might not be you on the horse, but it might be you getting the relationship to get you into the door for your team to do it.
Yeah, and I have been trying to talk to them. You know, what do I need to do to get in this rodeo, just to show y'all what we do?
Yeah. Now, do you guys, how does rodeo get paid? Like, you get a split of the gate? Do you get sponsors? Like, what's kind of, if I'm somebody who's watching this and I want to be in rodeo, what are some of the paths I can take to start my career?
Like last year we had a sponsor for the first time. Sunflower Seed guy out of Atlanta. But I mean, it's so much of the team. Like this weekend is $625. So, ain't that what you mean by expenses? Like, or just like traveling and all of that?
Yep.
I think he's saying to be in the rodeo.
Yeah, if you want to be a part of the rodeo, what are some of the what are some of the things you can do to get started, and then what are the payment? How do you get paid in rodeo if people are not familiar?
Like I said, to get started, just take consistency. Like, you gotta make sure you really gonna do it, because you really gotta be dedicated. I ain't gonna lie, like, she be on me like every year or something, every year. But she know what's up though. Like,
yeah.
As long as all my attention ain't towards him.
When he gets locked in, he gets locked in, and I get it because as a former dancer, dance coach, I know that you have to put in the work in order to get out what you need to get out of. So I get it. I do get it. So don't be trying to throw me out there like that. You see how he tried to do me? But no. Yeah.
No, I think you're really
started,
blessed.
Like it takes a lot of work. It's more than just, oh, I want to be a cowboy. Let me go.
Yeah.
I got money. I'm gonna pay. I have the money to do the things, but it's so much bigger than money. It's so much bigger than, like, you have to literally put in the work. Like, what are you doing at home? What are you doing off the rodeo scene? Like, are you riding your horse every day? Are you feeding good? Like, we're not just talking about no regular cheap feed. Like, are you having the proper performance feed?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like the supplements, the vitamins.
The way you feed, that costs. Of course, you got to keep clean water. Maintenance on your truck and trailer. Wow. You got good tires. And, make sure you got a good job, I guess, just in case you don't win.
Yeah.
Because you finances is a big thing in it, because
you only get paid if you win type situation, or
I mean they pay second too. Like in Pony Express, I know it's 60-40.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if you're not in the championship round,
you're donating to the pot.
Yep. Literally, and like it's getting bigger and bigger. Like, okay, this weekend we're running. It's $625 a team. I think it's 1,000 at it, but like. The rodeo we won in Veneta last year, I want to say it was 800 a team, and it was like 5,000 at it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now, like, it's getting bigger and bigger. I think this year it's like 8,000 at it this year.
Nice.
Dope.
Yeah. So yeah, it's getting bigger and better.
And that's gonna bring everybody out too, because everybody want to see.
The bigger the pot, the more people.
Now, for you, Agent, with you being in you come from rodeo anyways, does it make it easier for those conversations you just had? You understand the business a little bit more than the average wife does. So does it allow you to show him more grace because you do know the feeds, you know the importance of riding the horse every day? Does that help you guys have this great relationship that you have?
Yes, it does. I'm going to say, just because I know what all it takes to actually be a great performer, like I understand, and I am kind of like lax when it comes to that, but I do always stress priorities.
Yeah.
Make sure you're prioritizing your time. Yeah. Sometimes you might have to say, you know what, let me just go throw this feed. I got to get home because Maya is sick. I got to help with the kids. Or, you might have to be like, okay, I'm going to do this, but do you need me to grab anything while I'm out? It's the little things that matter for me. So it's bigger than just, oh, well, he's about to be gone this weekend and I can't go. Like, it's not even that. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I'm not tripping.
Yeah. And you mentioned
peer pressure.
You mentioned you have 2 kids with disabilities. How do you handle that in this arena where your husband has to travel for, the rodeo? And, I know it takes a lot of effort for that. So how do you manage the dealing, being able to do that?
Well, my daughter, she has cerebral palsy, but I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being wheelchair, she's like a level 2.
Okay.
So she's really independent. And she just loves horses. So with her, it's pretty easy. The hardest part is because she's only 3.
Okay.
So the hardest part for her is me telling her, like, not right now. Like, daddy has to work out his horse, or not right now. You know, it's a lot going on, so we have to kind of wait. So, you know, a 3-year-old is just not patient.
Yeah,
and
no, they want it now.
Want it now. They want to do what they want to do. They don't care about what nothing else is going on. They want it now, and that's just what it is. So with her, that's the hardest part. It's just kind of breaking it down to her, making her understand, like, okay, now is not the time, but in a minute, sure. Yeah. So that's the hardest with her. With my son, he's autistic, and he's the highest level of the autism spectrum. So he's level 3, and I'm gonna say it was kind of rough at first for Zach because he really wanted to, like, push, you know, the country lifestyle on him. Yeah. He's like, come on, let's do this. Like, he's excited. I got my son. I got my boy. And he was like, I don't want to do that. So he was like, oh, it's okay. He's going to learn to love this. And I'm like, but if you push him too hard, he's not. He's going to hate it. So I think that cushion from me, like, knowing, like, okay, like, we have to ease him into this. But he's like, no, but we got to do it now. So I think me being that buffer for him kind of helped. And, like, now he's like, okay, like, he loves animals, though. He might not want to ride all the time, but, like, petting them and just being around them, he loves animals. So
is that looking forward to, Zach, when they do get old enough to where they can maybe not ride horses, as you said, just being there, getting to pet the horses, feed the horses? Is that something you're looking forward to when your kids get a little older?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like my girls, they for sure 1,000% are going burro race.
Okay.
Like, for sure. Now Zakai, like she said, I don't push him to do anything no more. Right. Just because I finally got a good understanding of, you know, autism. Yeah, I never really knew about it. Yeah. And, like, I was always, you know, like she said, trying to push, you know, because, you know, I'm a boy. I'm hard-headed. Yeah. He hard-headed. So that's how I was thinking of it. But, yeah, when she finally called me with the doctor and stuff, I was just like, all right, I gotta ease off of him. So.
Yeah, as being fathers, we always want to push our kids to what we were accustomed to, but nowadays you don't know what they're dealing with, especially if he has autism. They're some of the smartest kids there are. You just have to know how to bring their attention to something that's going to make them. I've seen he's reading already and stuff like that, so he's doing some amazing things with that. I want to highlight the gala again. You both were present, like I said, best dressed. Everybody loved you guys. What was the reaction when you had the video played for you, Zach, honoring your guys' contribution to the rodeo?
It meant a lot. It really did. Like I said, all of our hard work, you know, finally paid off, and we finally got recognized for it. Like, it's just so surreal. Like, dang, like, we the best Pony Express team in America. Like, I mean, I know it's like right here, but like, it's facts. Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like, they watch it worldwide. Like, if you know about Pony Express, you watching it everywhere, and like everybody know everybody. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but like, I'm blessed for like that.
And then for you, Maya, you like you said, you everybody knows Zach. He's a star. But when did your family realize he was this star? You know, like, they're in the industry, they're cowboys. They're probably a little standoffish. Like, who he think he is? What was the moment when they said, okay, he is who he is, and he's the best at what he does? Like, when did they acknowledge that for him?
Well, it takes a lot to impress my family. So my family, they're not easily like, oh, okay. Like, they gotta, like, see for themselves. So I don't know. Yeah, I will say that. Okay, so my family, a lot of them don't just get out and go to the rodeos anymore. Like, since, like, my uncle, like, he might rodeo from time to time, right? Every blue moon, but he's always there. So did he already know you before we got together? No? Okay. Yeah, probably knew us, but not, like, knew him personally. You see what I'm saying? But, they just, like I said, at first everybody was like, oh, no, a country boy, like, Yeah. But, they got to know him. He was like, okay. They were like, okay, he's a sweet kid. Cool. Well, of course, a kid to them. But, yeah, he's a sweet kid. And so, like I said, my family is from Arcadia. So we had our rodeo in Arcadia, Labor Day weekend is when we do our Arcadia festival and stuff. And one year, were you still with Country Boys at this time? So it was Country Boys he was right on Country Boys at the time. And Labor Day weekend is like a family reunion for my family, basically. So everybody was there. And everybody went to the rodeo. And it was like, okay, so who is he? Who is he? I was like, right there with the helmet. At the time, he was still wearing a helmet. So he was easily spotted. Yeah. And that's pretty much how everybody knows Zach, is because of that helmet. There's like, oh, the helmet, the accident, Zach. Like, everybody knows that. So, like, now I think you get a lot of questions about why you don't wear your helmet and stuff like that. Because everybody knows him because of that helmet. Literally. I think that's really what got him, like, so big. And so, and like, everybody paid attention, like, you know, he can actually ride, like, he good, okay. And then
they probably looked at it like he got this helmet
ever in Pony Express. I can toot his horn and say that for him, like, he was on one of the hottest horses in Pony Express. Like, Tweety, maybe I'm giving you your props.
So, like, Zach, do you ever think about, you know, since, like she said, your brand's kind of built off of the helmet, have you ever thought about reaching out to a helmet company and saying, hey, I'm a professional cowboy, I'm traveling the United States, would you want to, you know, partner with me so we can show what safety is like being in these rodeos? Have you ever thought about anything like that?
I like that.
Nah, but you just gave me an idea.
That would be so dope. Like, and have like your story behind it. Ooh, we need to write that down.
I'll send it to you when we're done. And then what are you doing, Zach, to keep the excitement going? Because like I said, Cowboys right now, it's back to being a hot topic. I know you guys are from Oklahoma, but outside of Oklahoma, I'm in the Midwest. We see people riding horses more and stuff like that. So what are you guys doing to keep the excitement growing so more and more people will want to be a part of this rodeo lifestyle you're a part of?
Just keeping it out there, like, keep posting it on my social networking. I got a good crowd on my social networking. Facebook, I'm still trying to get back to Instagram and things like that, but, you know, just keeping it out there, like, keeping it hyped up, making good content to being a good, like, real catchy, like an eye grabber, like, okay, we need to see that, because, like, a lot of people do say, like, they didn't know this exists, like New York and all of that, like, and they like it. So that's why I said I just want to get it out that way sometime, you know, and perform in front of them.
I always tell him content is key. So everybody know me. I'm always on a mission. So I'm going to get that content for them, whether if that's just them warming up or filming their practices so they can have something to look back on, or at the rodeos, you know, getting them in action. And I think that's really what's going, like, I think that's really what pushed it out, like social media for sure. Oklahoma Cowboys, they got Oklahoma's name on the map.
It is
literally like between them and then Beyonce doing her cowboy card thing. Like the world is shook right now. Everything is cowboy.
I mean, if I was you, I would definitely be doing every video you can with the Cowboy Carter soundtrack, because it's so on fire right now, and just get people to, even your story of your kids. Like, there's a lot of people out here who have kids with autism. They would love to see a champion rodeo person who's able to balance, because his wife is helping balance that struggle that we all deal with. And once you start personalize yourself with your story, more people will become fans of you, not just because of your talent, because they can relate to what you're going through and they want to see you win.
Yep, being relatable is key.
Now, for you, Zach, I highlight a lot of your successes that I was able to find out. But for you, what's one of your biggest moments you've had as a rodeo or just in general in your career?
Like good or?
Yeah, what one of your highlights? What stands out to you?
Moments of being in rodeo, or what's your favorite rodeo? Or I don't know.
Man, probably whenever we beat Country Boys. Cause it's a grudge match. Like every time we run, when I tell you everybody at that rodeo is at the gate or the fence to watch,
It's not a grudge.
Everybody.
It's a rival, basically.
Yeah, a rival. Yeah, like everybody know whenever YFC and Country Boys meet up, get your phone out.
Yeah, gonna be a moment.
I will say that those two are the teams to watch.
Yeah,
hands down. Like that's gonna be the championship race.
yeah.
Okay, one of the two. Yeah,
YFC and Country Boys, and that's like.
But like when we finally beat them, you know, we trying to be consistent with it because we always kept losing. Like we was always like right there.
Yeah.
But we finally broke loose and and beat them, and then we just trying to keep it going and going and going. Like,
what do you think? What do you think finally allowed you to beat them? Did you guys do something different in practice? Was it something that like there's something that you guys are able to duplicate, or it just was a great rodeo?
Both, both really. Like Twine, he's like really like the one that kind of groomed us.
Mm-hmm.
So like he been in it for like 30 years and I'm 30. So like something like that. But like he's one of the top dogs,
Yeah.
I can honestly say I think what actually made them win is their team were actually gelling together. They were all in sync. I think that was like the key for them. And so everything was just so smooth. And I think this is when I wasn't able to go, right? I think did I just have somebody? Was this in Mesquite that year? Is this what you're talking about?
Probably.
So I wasn't even there to witness it. I had to like hear about it. But wait, am I mixing this up? Is that when you got your pass?
Oh no, I didn't get against them, but
okay. But that was the same year?
I don't think we raced. Yeah, we raced them. Yeah, we sure did. Yeah.
Because y'all won the
yeah.
That's why I was like, I know I'm not mixing this up.
Yeah.
That's 22. Yeah.
He's been winning so long, he forgot.
Just had, our baby girl, Kaden. I just had her. So I was like, or no, I was about to have her. Because that was March. I had her in May.
Yeah.
So I was like basically on bed rest. I wasn't going anywhere. I couldn't go because, when you're on bed rest, you can't really do nothing at the end of your pregnancy anyway. So I wasn't there, but clearly they did exactly what they needed to do. Yeah. And that year, oh my gosh, they were so hot that year. They were good. And they was good last year.
Yeah, it was just practice and, doing our homework, like, man, what we need to do in this situation? We might need to put him right here. It's just.
But y'all were toes.
Yeah.
In the chemistry.
And Maya, for you, do you have any advice for people who are wanting to come get involved in the rodeo or they want to support a loved one like you do? Any advice you would give them?
Be ready.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. It's hard. Like you say, Zach is this big star. I will say, ladies, if you have a loved one that's trying to be in the rodeo, have your backbone. Because these girls is after these cowboys. I will say that. So you got to be strong, not just physically, but like mentally. Like it's hard. But as long as your man is doing what he's supposed to do and staying loyal to the soil, you'll be fine.
Yeah. And Zach, going off of that, how do you assure Maya when you're out traveling that she is you're going to do the right thing by her? Are you constantly calling her? What kind of things are you doing for other people who are successful and they have to travel away from their family? What some of the tools you're using to reassure her when she's not there that she's number one person on your mind?
Yeah, I try to call her. I'm getting better at it now. Though.
Okay.
I really am. Like this past year, I've gotten better though. Cause I'm not the being on the phone type, but I'll text her. I'll send her like a couple snaps or pictures or something. Let her know what's going on. Try to keep her updated.
Yeah. Keep her involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any rodeos coming up this year? We can circle on the calendar for you. If people want to contact both of you to get more familiar with what's going on in your area, what's the best way to contact you?
You can get at me on Instagram at Zach Guess 2. Facebook, Zach Guess. TikTok. I'll be on TikTok a little bit, but
okay.
I got TikTok too. I don't even know my name on there.
I don't think you have a name on there. It's a bunch of numbers.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
You cannot find him on TikTok, guys.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. You might. I don't know.
But yeah, on those platforms. I mean, if not, if y'all find her, just let her know.
And then Maya, for you, how do people find you if they want to get familiar with you or they want to book a session next time they come to the rodeo? You know, what's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at It's Maya. That's ITSMYI with 3 A's and the underscore at the end. That's my Instagram name. On Facebook, I'm Sha'Myia Johnson Guess. That's how you can contact me if you want to book an appointment. You can send me a DM. Yeah. He just asked if they want to book an appointment. They pay attention to the question.
Yeah. She does hair at this rodeo, so
like,
maybe.
Yeah, baby, get your clientele up. Instead of trying to say, girl, you better be trying to get these coins over here.
And then last question for both of you. What do you have to say to your fans and supporters? Like I said, Zach, you are a rising star in the rodeo world. Everybody's starting to take notice of what you're doing with the Pony Express. What would you like to say to your fans before we get done?
What do you want to say to your fans?
I don't know. That's a hard one for me right now. You put me on the spot.
Okay.
I got you, baby. This is what a wife come in for. He would like to thank all of his supporters.
Yeah.
Thank you for always supporting the Pony Express, the YFC. When y'all at a rodeo, call his name, scream. The louder you yell, the faster they run. Ain't that what she said?
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, just when you see him, say something. He's always gonna speak. He loves his people.
I will though. I will. Yeah, if you see me, let me know who you are.
Yeah.
Let me know you're one of my fans.
And say, how are you doing with the fans? You enjoying taking pictures and autographs and all that, or are you getting used to it?
Definitely. Like they love, coming up seeing my trailer. I'm not hard to find at all.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean I love it. It's cool. Not everybody love attention. I'm not saying I don't love attention, but it's different. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate both of your time tonight, and I hope you both have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes.